Hi, my name is Beth Haley here for BoardGameGeek at SPIEL 2019. I'm sitting down with Giuliano Acquati from Cranio Creations. You've brought us your new title for this year, which is Masters of Renaissance.
Thank you very much. Hello guys. Masters of Renaissance is our new Euro-style game. It's a light game in the world of Lorenzo Il Magnifico. So that's why the subtitle is Lorenzo Il Magnifico, the card game, even though some suggested us that could have been named Lorenzo Il Magnifico, the marbles game. Because as you will see, there will be some similarities with Lorenzo, the cards and the production of resources, but the market is the new main concept of this game.
Same artist as well from Lorenzo.
Yes, same designer, same artist as well. So the concept of the game is quite easy. Every player has a personal board with 3 slots for cards, a faith track, which in this game is personal, so every player has his own faith track, and then a space for the resources. So a warehouse and a bank. At the beginning of the game, all the cards are divided into their level and their colors. So each level has 4 different cards of the same level and the same colors, but with different costs and different abilities. So whenever a player buys one of these cards, the second one is already available. There are basically 3 actions that you can perform during your turn, and you will only perform 1 action. So the game is very fast, very easy, very smooth during the game. So the first action is going to the market to collect resources. So this is a new mechanic. You will see the marketplace. Every marble of a color represents a different resource, except for the white one, which gives you nothing. When you go to the market, you must choose and pick 1 line or 1 column and take all the resources connected. So for example, let's say...
I feel like this one might be a good one to do.
Yes. So you will get 2 shield and 1 stone.
All right, so 2 shields and 1 stone.
But the marble stays in the market.
All right.
So they only represent resources. So you decide to pick that line or column. You take the resources from the tray into your warehouse.
Which... there we go.
Which is limited to 3 lines where you can store 3 different resources, and in each line only the same resource. So very limited. Then, after picking up the resources, you must take the extra marble and push the line that you have chosen.
Go.
Okay. So whenever a player performs this action, the composition of the market changes for the next player.
And I love that, as you can see, that is tilted, that it will always end up in that corner in the end, which is awesome.
So this is the first action that you can do. Once you have resources, the second action that you can do is to buy a card. So you spend the resources from your warehouse and you take a card. You will start taking cards from the first level.
Card cost is right up there in the top center.
Exactly. So the question is, how do I get 7 coins if I only have a warehouse that can store 3? The answer is during the production. So the second action is buying cards. The third action is activating the production. Activating production works as in Lorenzo, the base game. So it's a transformation power from a resource to another resource. And you can see that the higher level cards have a very more effective power. All the resources that you produce through production are stored in your bank, which is unlimited.
And can you mix and match resources in your back?
And you can have all the resources together in any number. So the concept of the game is to create your own engine of activation power, to collect more and more resources, to be able to build new cards and empower your engine. There are basically 2 ways to end the game. One is a player, if a player buys his 7th card. The other way to end the game is if a player reaches the final space of the faith track. So every time you get a faith point, you will advance on this track, and if you reach the end, you will end the game and you will score a lot of points. During the game, there will be 3 phases when players confront their statues on the faith track. If they are inside this frame they will get a bonus. If you are behind this frame when a player reaches this space, they must discard this bonus from their track. Very, very last thing, we have Masters card, leader cards that gives you a permanent ability, and to be able to play them, you must achieve a requirement. For example, in this case, having a yellow and a purple card. So that's the case.
Got it.
So for example, this one gives you a discount when you buy a card. This player gives you extra space from your warehouse.
But specific to
specific
stone.
to resources.
Or that one's specific to stone at least.
This one transforms you the marbles, the white marbles,
so
into a specific resources. And then we have a master with the production ability.
What was the inspiration for wanting to take Lorenzo Il Magnifico, which has been a really well received, solid selling game, and wanting to translate it into something a little bit lighter, particularly with marbles?
Yeah, actually the process of this game has been that we received this game with a completely different theme, okay? But during the development we find out that actually we realized, why don't we continue the brand of Lorenzo, since it's a card game where you have production and some similarities.
Yeah, I was going to say, since this translated so well into saying, oh yeah, I remember that from the base game.
Exactly. So we just moved into the direction of making it becoming another game in the world of Lorenzo, and it fits very, very well. So we have the production cards, the cards divided into 3 towers with 3 different levels, so that's a similarity. You have leader cards, the resources are the same, you have the faith, and so on.
Right,
so
yeah, I really like sort of how the faith has been translated into something a little...
It's very lighter, much lighter than Lorenzo, but it still is a good strategic game. For gamers, but for everybody
so
as well.
since it is the same designers as well, so they had designed a completely different game, not thinking it would be Lorenzo, and then through the whole collaborative process, came back to Lorenzo.
Yeah, basically the first idea of the game came from Nestor, which is the designer of Newton. But since Simone works with us for all our games, we just all our big family of Italian designers. So.
Well, if you guys want to check out the next game in the sort of accidental Lorenzo family, this is Masters of Renaissance, which is technically Lorenzo Il Magnifico, the card game, possibly the marble game, which is being published by Cranio Creations. And Giuliano, thank you so much for giving us a quick look.
Thank you, as always, and enjoy the game.